Well, it was a great start to the fourth quarter of the season. Thought all three phases performed really well. Thought obviously offensively in the first half, we were really efficient, throwing it, running it. Thought Keith used his legs tonight, probably as good or better than he has all year, running the ball. Thought he distributed the ball really well to a variety of people. Jadon, Kevin, Bishop out of the backfield, Austin with some big plays, Marvin Hall, so a lot of different guys. And then defensively in the third quarter, creating those 3 turnovers were big. It's been a point of emphasis of ours coming out of the bye week. And not only did we get 3 turnovers, 2 of them go for touchdowns. So that was fantastic for the guys. And then a lot of guys got to play, which was huge, especially with a short week. A lot of the starters didn't have to play a whole bunch there in the second half. So we got to get back to it tomorrow and get ready for UCLA.
Steve, all week long, everybody kind of talked about this being the game that Austin was going to get involved. What did you see that kind of led you guys to believe that this would be that night?
Well, obviously, when you lose Kaysen, he's a talented guy, especially when he's isolated one-on-one. So we found some things there to get Austin some one-on-one opportunities. If the game hadn't gone the way it had gone, he probably would have gotten more. So we've got a few more tricks up our sleeve to get him the ball. But I thought, again, and I've been saying it every week, and he blocked his tail off tonight again. I mean, so many of those runs are going behind him. The poor holding penalty he gets, I don't know. I'd have to look at the film. I'm sure it didn't look like he did. But he's blocking great. His energy was really good. And he's a force when he's got one-on-one matchups. So it's good. And I thought Keith found him and allowed him to go up and make some plays.
Have you ever been a part of a quarter where you scored 21 points in 2 minutes?
It was a little odd. The little game was, like I've always said, I respect the game. I respect the football gods, and we just try to do things the right way. And the game, the way that third quarter went, where we were scoring on defense, it wasn't even on offense. It was a little bit odd. But again, I was happy for our defense because we need to do that. We need to create turnovers. We need to knock the ball loose and intercept passes, and so that was big.
You hit the ball, John Ross 3 times, twice on that flat, 1 time in reverse. Talk about those.
Well, I think the world of John Ross when he has the ball in his hands, and it's a point of emphasis for ours. It was coming into the game. Obviously, he gets it in the kick returns, but we're still just trying to find ways to get him the ball. It's hard to take Jadon off the field because Jadon's doing so many good things for us as well, and that's the luxury of having a lot of weapons, and we're fortunate that way. But he's electric when he has the ball in his hands, that's for sure.
Steve, can you talk about what happened in the half with Jadon and then Stringfellow on the opposite?
Well, what happened, it was the end of the half, and we were just squibbing it, and I think Stringfellow and one of their guys kind of got into it, and then a few more of their guys got into it. And in human nature, when it's one of your guys and 6 or 7 of their guys, our guys, I had a feeling we're going to start to run over there. I just didn't want it to escalate, so I tried to stop our guys as best I could. I turned around and Jadon snuck behind me the other way. We got String out of there. There's no penalty for that, but for Jadon coming off the sidelines without his helmet on, he got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for that. But I just didn't want it to escalate because I had a feeling it could have went there, and I just didn't want that to happen.
Is this about as ideal scenario you can imagine with the short week?
I think so. I think so. I think that for our guys, with minimal reps for the starters, in a sense, we came out really healthy. I thought Dexter's Charles, speaking of health, maybe a little overzealous tonight, had a false start, hit a guy in the back there on a play that he didn't need to, but he provides a real spark to us. He's a physical guy, but again, I think for us, just if I could have wrote a script for tonight, maybe outside of Paul Richardson getting us on the deep ball there, and he's a great player, it went about as good as it could have went for us.
Talk a little bit about Kevin King starting.
Yeah. I think Will will be okay, hopefully. Kevin went in and did a nice job. He learned that there's some good receivers in this conference, and when Richardson got up on him on the post route. But all in all, that's valuable experience for him that he got.
It's not like Jeff maybe had a stinger?
No, he's fine. We're coming out of this game really healthy, which is good.
Talk about 24 hours long and everything. You encourage them to flush this one maybe a little quicker to the Friday game on that.
We're over it already. The preparation's already underway, and it has to be when you're on a short week. So, and I think our guys understand that. They know this is a game of go down and play a really talented UCLA team, a very well-coached team, on a Friday night, with the game that is pivotal for our season, in the fourth quarter of our season. So our guys, they're already talking about it, so that, the preparation's already underway.
Was the plan to use Keith's legs going in, or just evolve during the game?
I think, we always have some of that stuff in the game plan, and it evolved into it as the way they were playing some of the stuff that in the red zone that allowed him to get some of those runs for touchdowns. And I think that he probably had his proudest moment tonight when he got to run a guy over for a touchdown. So, but the end result is when he's doing that and he's throwing the ball accurately and we're running it with Bishop, when we have all that going, we're pretty good. So we have to try to utilize that as much as we can to where he's capable of doing.